class. Okay, class, basically, let's take a look. In the previous lesson, we are in the verse number 201. When three countless kappa are complete, the Bodhisattva is sent to the ground of wonderful enlightenment. See, no? So, finish the three kappa, countless kappa is to the ground. Ground, remember, that is the sage of the Bodhisattva. Okay, so in the previous lesson, let's take a look. Basically, what we see is, you see, from the first ground to the egg, they are completely eliminate the barriers of the afflictions. Okay, but the residue habit will start to remove bit by bit. Okay, class, just be careful with the. The residue habit. It means what? It means for Arahant, even though in Theravada and Mahayana text it mentioned that even Shariputra Mongalana, they all still have the habit of arrogance, anger, attachment, something like that. So once you attain, become a Buddhahood, all of them will be totally eradicated. Then let's take a look. So this is where we stopped in the previous lesson. So the example is, I remember that one case, the river got the Deva, you see, there's one Arahant, he is famous for arrogance, you see. So he come to the river, he said, oh, the god of the river, please stop the river, let me pass by, with a very arrogant accent, you see. So the Deva is a lady, actually, So she cried, and then she go to complain to Shakyamuni. So Shakyamuni called up, Shakyamuni called up, the guy, Shakyamuni tried to call up the god. He said, I have to be so arrogant. I must be in a more humble way to call to the god of the river to serve you. So the Arahant said, okay, I will change. I will make some change. So again, he go to the river, and then he said, hey, servant, please come. I want to apologize to you. You as a servant, I will let me order you to stop, to serve me so I can cross the river. Okay, this is from the order from Shakyamuni. Okay, you feel happy, right? Then she cried even worse. Because that's a habit, she couldn't change, okay. Basically, if people try to call people as a servant, usually what words they use in English more commonly? In Chinese, we call 奴婢, 奴隶. 奴隶 means that you are a servant. In English, how do they call people? I don't think they call servant, right? They call what? So what words they use to show that the counterpart is the servant? No idea. Okay, never mind. You mentioned to me if you remember They must have got some slang or what like if let's say if you call people ducky, this is the humiliation, right? Ducky, right? Black people in American, you call, hey, ducky, come. I mean, it's the humiliation, right? Right. It's a ducky, something like that So must be. With some bad expression, you enhance your expression and then use the word ducky, then it can make people feel very bad. So this is what happened to the Arahant. So we call it as a residue. Even though all the defilements have been successfully eradicated, but we show something like that. Okay, next, let's take a look. So next paragraph. Okay, Sally, your turn to replace when all is clear and pure.
When all is clear and pure, one's wisdom endures longer and grows vaster, and one understands everything more profoundly. In the end, one is ultimately perfect and able to become a Buddha. Only when all infinitesimal ignorance of the known states and the infinitesimal barriers of ignorance are purified, no forms of eternal barriers will arise and purest truth will appear. This is the manifestation of the purest realm of things. The Prajnaparamita Sutra says that having one's thought that is in accord with the wonderful wisdom and eliminating all afflictions and residual habits, one becomes a Buddha. Having made the resolution and practice up to this level, one at last is truly a perfect has one at last truly has perfect virtues. The three bodies of a Buddha. 202. The body of a Buddha is of utmost stillness and extinction, impartial and without discrimination, like a many pearl. It has wonderful effects and that benefit all sentient beings. What follows describe the virtues of Buddha ground based on these bodies. First, the first of the three is the Dharma body, the inherent body of Buddha. The Dharma body is in accord with all Buddha Dharmas and is their basis of support. It is a pure manifestation of the nature of emptiness of things, which is disassociated from the storehouse of affliction. It is complete, brilliant, independent, ultimate, and supreme. Having practiced from the Bodhisattva grounds up to the attainment of the state of having activities without the manifestation of any form that is perpetually dissociated from all barriers. A Buddha is of utmost stillness and extinction. As comparing one Buddha with another, all are equal. From a Buddha's perspective, everything the dependent environment and the direct consequence, sentient beings and Buddhas, people and the Dharma, wisdom and suchness are all equal. There is discrimination in neither the nature of emptiness of things nor in the Buddhi. Thus it is said, is the absolute is like the wisdom of suchness. This is called the Dharma body.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Infiniteness barrier. Internal barriers arising to purest truth. Internal barrier. Purest truth. Okay, class, let's take a look. So we got a little bit like in the previous lesson. It means in the end, one is ultimately perfect and able to become a Buddha only all the infinitesimal ignorance of the known state and the infinitesimal barrier of ignorance. So the point is, you see, one is ignorant. Second is the barriers of ignorance are purified. Okay, can you check for me 127 what the reference from? This is also a little bit awkward. The phrase.
127 SN4.
SN4, Samyutta Nikaya.
No.
Samyutta Nikaya.
Samhini Mukhana Sutra.
Again what?
Samhini Mukhana Sutra.
Oh, Samtini Mukhana Sutra. Okay. Anyway, class, shall I know? Okay. Infinitesimal ignorance. Infinitesimal barriers of ignorance. It just makes sense in English. Infinitesimal. Does it make sense?
We don't know what it means.
I did not.
You need to say the translation is from maybe from the Sanskrit. It doesn't look like English, right? Yeah. I also feel awkward a little bit. Okay. And never mind, class. But we know it's from infinite, right? Class, am I right? Infinite. You make it become the adjective. So infinitesimal. Is this correct in English? It's supposed to be from infinite, right? The original words, right?
Not sure, Sifo.
Not sure. I better call the dictionary. You guys all are unreliable. Okay, let me check a little bit. It's a little bit of infinitesimal. Infinitesimal. Oh. Extremely small is adjective, but it's supposed to be extremely small. Please, okay. I think the translator, he got a group of good people to help him. The translator actually is a doctor who is born in America. He got some US people, American, to help him, you see. This is good word, I think. Infinitesimal is very small. So meaning to say that, you see, it's very small barrier of ignorance and a very extremely small of ignorance to clarify it. Extremely small. Okay. No form of the eternal barrier will arise and the purest truth will appear. Okay, class, remember, basically the purest truth usually mean the Nibbana or the Buddhahood. It's a type of mental state. If without the knowledge of Abhidhamma, it's quite hard a little bit for me to explain to you all. So once we go through the Abhidhamma, then we can know it better for this stuff. Okay, so that is the purest truth will appear. Okay, then let's see how. Okay, next. The purest realm of the thing. Okay, nothing already. So we finish here. We come to the three body of the Buddha. Maybe before I begin, shall I ask? Are you familiar during the chanting, 法身、报身、化身? Are you familiar with this? Sally, yes. Elena feel yes. Now we are trying to going through this three Dharma body. Basically, this three body, I think it is not available in Theravada. In the small vehicle text, only available in Mahayana text. So we will begin with the Dharma body. Class, please write down Dharma body is the Fasana. This one Dharma body. Okay. Okay, please write down. This is the Dharma body lah, 法身啦，Maybe I try to make you recall that 供养清净法身 this is the one. 比如这那佛 Yes, Sally? Is it where you record this? 供养清净法身比如这那佛 that is the 法身. During you do the chanting before eating the meal. Sally, but you can't tell lah, Sally.
I can't tell.
Can't tell, but just somewhere just come across. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. How about Mr. Leong? Mr. Leong is
Sorry,
this Chinese word have you come across before?
法身 I only know 佛法身
No lah. Okay. Yeah. So meaning to say that you are not infinitesimal.
Of course, I'm not
in
infinite.
Chinese. You are not infinitesimal in Chinese. Okay. 法身 lah. So there's a Dharma body. Okay, class, basically, how do we understand the 法身? Okay, we used to say that wherever how big the universe, how big is the Dharma, how magnificent is the Dharma body is how far the universe can reach. This is how we describe the 法身. So meaning to say, once you attain to the Buddhahood, your Dharma body is unreachable. It's infinite in time and in space. So wherever you go, then you will fully occupy it. We call it, it's a very pure state. Very pure state. So this is how we call it. Let's see in English. It's a more better description. Okay, it's a basis of support. You see, this is the adjective for it. Complete, brilliant, independent, ultimate, and supreme. Okay, especially supreme. It is frequently used. Then you see, perpetually dissociate from all the barrier. Meaning to say that all the defilement, you will be permanently dissociate. Not like Arahant. Arahant still got some habitual. But the Dharma body attained by the Buddha, there's nothing anymore. But anyway, this type of a three body concept, especially the Dharma body, it make the Mahayana devotee hardly to feel the closeness between Buddha and themselves. This fasten especially. So basically, you will notice most of the Mahayana devotee, when they come to the temple, once they bow to the Buddha, it seems bow to the God. You can feel something like that. And then they used to bring some apple or bring some fruits and even maybe offer the oil. But it seems that they try to they try to ask for something in return. They have this tendency in our Mahayana. Whereas in Theravada, but also depends some they will always inject that, this is the Buddha, he is the teacher. You have to follow his teacher. Every time you bow, you have to remember that you have to recall the teaching of the Buddha. So if they always inject this perception, you will find that they're more closer between you and the Buddha. And once you know the story of Buddha, he married, he got kids, quite similar with everybody. So you found that it's very close. Then meaning to say that attaining Buddhahood, it seems not such difficult the perception. Whereas this Dharma body, once we tell people, so big, I don't know how long it takes me to attain this type of Dharma body. Am I right, Sally? This is the perception. Elena, am I right? This is the perception you feel in the Mahayana. Yeah, Mr. Leong, please.
Sifu, why is this Dhammakaya different for Buddha as well as for the Arahant?
Okay.
Kaya.
No, Dhammakaya actually is a Dharma body. Dhammakaya is a Dharma body. It's a totally different. Arahant doesn't possess of three body. It doesn't possess. It is not available in the school of the thought. You can only find it in the Mahayana text. You need the three body. Mr. Leong. can't compare because they are not available. You can say that this is the unique feature for Buddha. Then it makes the Buddha difference with the Arahant. So that's why the texts try to convince us in order to attain Buddhahood, because this is the uniqueness of the Buddha compared with Arahant. Arahant they don't have. So they say, please try to understand and understand this value, and then you will make vow to become the Buddha. Okay, Mr. Ram, got it? They don't have it.
So in which sutta in the Mahayana tradition is it stated?
Yes, it's stated quite clear. It is from
Which are-
Mahayana
Mahayana
Sutta. Mahayana Sutta. Yes.
What is the name of the sutta?
The name of Sutta regarding the Fasana. Oh, okay. Awatam Saka lah. Awatam Saka.
Okay. Thank you.
Awatam Saka God, Dharma flower God. Basically, most of the Dharma God lah. Okay. Okay, then you see, perpetual dissociate from all the barrier, you see, Okay, class again, you see, if you mention here, all right, the sentient being, you see, the dependent environment and direct consequence, sentient being, Buddha, people, the Dharma, wisdom, and suchness, all are equal. So once you reach this stage, they are all are equal. Okay, and then you see, there is a discrimination in neither the nature or emptiness of thing nor in the body. You see, emptiness of thing and the body. So that meaning to say that, and then again, a wisdom of suchness. So class, once you discover this wisdom of suchness, body empty of thing, all try to pinpoint same thing only. Meaning to say the Buddhahood, or maybe we say that is the spiritual level of the Buddha. So Buddha experienced something. It's not something outside from our heart. It's still within our mind. But for Buddha, they are the one who exceptionally experienced this only. Okay, next paragraph. Yes, Elena, can you please read undifferentiated?
Undifferentiated suchness and the wisdom of the Dhamma body may be compared to a pearl and a pearl's brightness. It is impossible to differentiate these two. A pearl and its brightness are one and the same. All the phrases and sentences describing and praising the body of the Buddha in the scriptures are only metaphors. As for the virtues that are of benefit to others, they are like the precious money pearl that has the wonderful supernatural function of being of benefit to all sentient beings. The money pearl is the wish-fulfilling pearl. It is capable of responding to sentient beings' need, producing various treasures to satisfy their heart's desire. The precious pearl functions without thought or intensified effort. It is just naturally the way it is. Buddhahood benefits to sentient beings are also like this.
Okay.
203. In the body that flows out of the nature of things, everything appears moment after moment. The phenomena of Buddhas, of bodhisattvas, of the two vehicles, of all sentient beings, of the three periods of time, and of all the 10 directions. The dependent and the direct consequences coexist without conflict. From one, everything appears and everything enters into one. The second of the three bodies is the reward body, otherwise known as the body of engendered by the nature of things. The Buddha's body that flows out of the nature of all things. In many of the Mahayana Sutra, this body and the Dhamma body are not strictly differentiated. This is according to the conception of the two bodies that are taken as the first body and the transformation body. Only the great bodhisattvas perceive this body manifested in its form adorned with boundless virtues. Thus, the reward body is differentiated from the Dhamma body, which is the body of virtues arising from the realization of the nature of things. Flowing means of the same order of outflow, or like produces like produces like. All the boundless virtues and adornment, as well as the nature of things, belong to the same order. just as light and heat are of the same order as the sun. This body is that in which everything appears moment after moment. The phenomena of Buddhas, of bodhisattvas, of the two vehicles, of sentient beings, and of the 3 periods and 10 directions. Phenomena of Buddhas include their virtues, the signs and marks of a Buddha's body, the purity and adornment of Buddha land, the completion of the Buddha's Dhamma assembly, the omnipresent extension of the Buddha's voice, the infinite lifespan of the Buddha, a Buddha's wisdom, supernatural powers, benefits to sentient beings, the accomplishment of the way in 8 aspects, and so forth. Phenomena of bodhisattvas include the initial resolution, the acceptance of bodhisattva's precepts, the practice of the 6 transcendences, and the 4 all-embracing virtues, travel throughout the worlds of 10 directions. Homage paid closely to all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, listening to and upholding the preaching of the Dhamma by the Buddhas of the 10 directions, the deliverance of all sentient beings, various difficult and ascetic deeds, various previous destinies, and so forth. Phenomena of the 2 vehicles include the initial aspiration of Sravakas and Pacheka Buddhas, cultivation, abiding in Aranya, the practice of the deeds of Dutta, travels and teachings among people, entrance into Nirvana, and so on. Phenomena of sentient beings include the sentient beings of the 6 transmigratory states, with various abiding places, various names, various forms, various styles of living, various kinds of suffering, and so on. The 4 categories above are the phenomena of both ordinary people and sages in the 10 realms of things. Finally, phenomena of the 3 periods include previous life, present life, future life, a moment, infinite kalpas, and so on. And phenomena of the 10 directions include the infinite, countless, and indefinable worlds of the 10 directions, whether big or small, upright or tilted, suffering or happy, as well as mountains, river, earth, grass, trees, and forests.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Elena, just, oh yeah. Okay, class, let's take a look. Here, okay, one more sentence, last paragraph regards, the Dharma body is here, the undifferentiated suchness and the wisdom compare like a pearl and a pure pearl's brightness. Class, basically, most of the Dharma is something can only be, Buddha will try to use the metaphor to make us understand, especially this state is out of our imagination and we haven't attained yet, or it is unattainable yet. So basically, all this type of stuff, Buddha will use the metaphor. So you just imagine the pearl. The pearl is shining the light, right? So it's just like a Dharma body. Actually, I was asking myself before, I said, how come the Dharma body is everywhere, but even though we are calling them, why no response, you see? This type of perception, just like the people call it God, right? Some Christians, they have faith because their calling has been answered. Right? They used to say, oh, my calling is answered. But not all the calling are answered. Some they don't answer you, then how is your faith? It's the same, once if you think that oh, the Dharma body is everywhere, so if I got problem, I call, they should come. Okay, but how come it doesn't appear even though you call and cry most of the time? They explain this way. Number one, even though the Dharma body is everywhere, but due to we have an ignorance, even though Buddha they saw us, but we cannot see them. Buddha can see us, but we cannot see them. It's number one. It's from Mahayana perception. And then second is we still have our own karma. Even though Buddha, the Dharma is everybody, we still have our karma. So we are still subject to our karma. So this is the second reason. So no matter how, you still have to endure your karma. Sometimes the Dharma body maybe will come, will help us in a different way. It becomes a help, but it's supposed to be in a different way. So we go to the second one, is about the reward body. Let's take a look. This is the reward body. Okay, reward body. So reward body is the 报身. So please write down first the 报身 reward body. Abbreviation. I use abbreviated 报. Please write down, this is a reward body. Class, sometimes the reward body and the Dharma body are quite similar. In certain texts, they put it's the same thing, but in certain texts, they make it different. Never mind, because this body, you just roughly know that will be fine, because the last one is the most important to explain the different phenomena. So this is the Paosan. It is also available in Awatam Saka. Awatam Saka, the Sutra of Awatam Saka. Okay, get it lah, Paosan So basically the chanting is 清净法身毗供养清净法身毗卢遮那佛 So the 法身 usually used to explain is the Vairojana Buddha. Have you heard about 毗卢遮那佛 Vairojana? Familiar, you get perception, it's all from our Tamsaka Sutra. Then 圆满报身如舍那佛 So 圆满报身 is a reward body. So it's a 如舍那佛 如舍那 actually is a Vairojana, but with a different name only. Both is the same. Okay, let's go to see a little the tiny difference, a little bit difference, the text. Okay, see reward body. Actually, class I see. The summary is here. This is better than the text. I see. In the body, the flow out of the nature of the things. Nature of the thing. Okay, class here, a lot of things appeared. It is English. It is English. Makes sense for you. The what thing? Always the things come up. It is a common English.
It's not very common.
Basically English with you is in this way, right? What things, it wouldn't happen in this way, right? In English,
Sometimes it depends on what you're talking about.
But not in this context. You can feel that this is not the English. Maybe this is they translate from Sanskrit, right? Is this correct?
Not necessary. Sometimes
It
we
makes
also use
sense.
nature of things. Sometimes also we use this type of words.
I see. So it still makes sense. Meaning to say how the nature of thing or what things I see. You see, in the body, the flow out of the nature of things. You see, meaning to say this pulse and reward body, it flow out. You see, so they use the flow out the body. You see. Then next is say everything appeared moment after moment. Meaning to say every moment it is appearing. So what appearance you see in the body? You see the phenomena of Buddha and the Bodhisattva. The phenomena of the Buddha includes the body and the mark, 32 marks or 80 marks from the body. So that is the phenomena and the Bodhisattva of the true vehicle and the all sentient being, you see. And you see the time is 3 period of the time, and of the 10 direction, all the direction include all the direction. The dependent and the direct consequence coexist without conflict, you see. So meaning to say all these things, they can be coexist together, you see or not. So what does this mean? So sometimes I remember my first I first learning I begin my Buddhism learning from Mahayana in the very beginning, not Nikaya and Abhidhamma. So basically, my perception for the Buddha is it seems it's something is everywhere. It's look perfect. It's very far. It seems also quite difficult to outreach, unattainable. Got this perception one. It's very magnificent, very giant, something like that. You see. So because if we begin like this, but if let's say if you learn the Theravada, meaning to say learn the Nikaya and the Abhidhamma first, so you will feel more solid. The Buddhahood is something very solid. It's the Nibbana you experience there. Okay, but if you have got the fundamental from the Nikaya and the Abhidhamma, then with this fundamental, you proceed to the Mahayana, the concept of the Buddhism, I think will be more acceptable. This one you feel, wow, it seems very big. Okay, so this is how it happened. So anyway, since you go back to Abhidhamma, I think will make you can grasp the concept easily. Okay, so let's take a look. You see, The second is the reward body. The body engendered by the nature of the things, nature of the things, you see. Not strictly differentiated with the Dharma body, you see. Sometimes they make it similar. So, 法身, 报身, sometimes it's the same. Okay. So, just now, Mr. Leong asked, what is the reference? This is the reference. Okay, 华严经啦，Avatamsaka syllabus 华严经 please write down 啦Okay, Mani Vapula Buddha Vamtasaka Sutra sometimes we call just Avatamsaka lah Avatamsaka Sutra. Please write down, just write the Avatamsaka Sutra lah. Avatamsaka Sutra. So this Dharma body and reward body reference come from here. Besides, I think they got some more Mahayana Sutra which is not common and popular as Avatamsaka and Tijang Jing, they also will mention. No matter how, basically, if it is a Mahayana Sutra, it will mention this concept, except the Prajna. So I think the Prajna wouldn't let me see. No, God. Mr. Leong, this one is the Tats Turun Maha Prajna Paramita. This one also will mention the Dharma body and reward body. Okay, so this is the feature for the Mahayana Sutra. Then next, let's see. I see we mentioned the flowing means of the same order of outflow, just as light and heat are of the same order as the sun, you see. So you just imagine that, it's outflow like a sun. If we include their virtue and the sign and the marks of the Buddha. Omnipresent extension of the Buddha voice. Omnipresent means in everywhere, like the universe, you see. And then they say it's just like the practice of 6 transcendence and 4 all-embracing virtue travel throughout the world of the 10 direction, you see. So the perception make a few that it seems because Dharma body is everywhere, and then the Buddha is everywhere. So meaning to say the Buddha will try to practice this 6 transcendence, 4 all-embracing, also in everywhere. Wherever there's a Buddha, he will try to practice everywhere, you see. And then let me finish. See, the deliverance of the sentient being, various difficult and excessive practice, you see. Meaning to say that once, wherever they go, they will try to teach our living being the excessive practice, you see. And also teach the 2 vehicles regarding the abiding in Aranya. Aranya means in the forest, abiding in Aranya, do the Dutanga, and entrance to the Nibbana. See, he also, wherever he go, 10 direction, he will also teach this, you see. Besides, he also will go where 6 transmigratory states. He will also go this place, you see. So the phenomena of the 3 periods and 10 direction, he will go everywhere. Class, wait a moment. Let me check. Okay, yes, Mr. Leong, please. So neighbor things. Yeah, Mr. Leong, please. Anything, Mr. Leong?
Yes, Sifu. What are the 6 transcendence and the 4 embracing virtues?
The 6 transcendence is the 6 paramid.
6 parami.
Okay, so 6 paramid. And 4 embracing virtue, we call it as remember, in order, a good example, Elena as a leader, you have to speak the good words. You have to work the same thing with them together. Okay, let me show you the reference. Okay, easy. Actually, we mentioned before, but I think because maybe if you try to teach the class, you can remember even easier. See, Let's see. Okay. The class, this is the condensed. The Dharma.
Is it the four Brahma Viharas?
No. Okay, let me show you where is it. The embracing of a virtue. For embracing of virtue. It's the distinctive for the Dharma. Let me show you. Search combined PDF. So I let you can check the page lah.
Okay.
Okay. For embracing virtue. For embracing. See, do I use a proper keywords or not? For all embracing. Maybe I use embracing virtue. Okay, class, please flip to the page 230. We got a main topic. Yes, the 6 transcendence and the 4 all embracing virtue. Yes, please go to the page. I think it's 225. The practice of the Bodhisattva consists of 6 transcendence and the 4 all embracing virtue. See, these two. Please do the cross reference for it lah.
Okay, Sifu, thank you.
Okay, got it lah. Okay. Yeah, if this is possible, I think maybe 3 of you see whether you can get somebody to form a study group for this book or not. Because once you lead the study group only then you will get a better impression. Because you see a class, if you go to Theravada, you can hardly learn this out of Dharma, you see. So the only place you can go still more in Mahayana English base. I think the choice not as much as Theravada, which is in English. So one is the best way is you try to lead the class. Then you have to go depth. You will go deep in it. Possible, Elena? You got a market or not to lead the study group for this book, something like that? Possible for you?
師傅，I myself 半桶水點樣教另外嗰半桶咧？
You feel pressure for leading the class. Mr. Leong, you got somebody to form the study group or not? Then you lead them, possible?
Sifu is not as simple as you think because the thing is, this book is very profound. Very, very profound.
Especially the last part, right?
Not only the last part, for those beginners, I think even the beginning of the book also they may not be able to comprehend it.
Yeah. Never mind. So next time, if you got opportunity, you have to try to lead, because this Mahayana part, if you don't lead you can't remember very well. You see how. Okay.
And I think that this book need to be read over and over again in order to get the full meaning.
And then you have to link it to your chanting also. Like Sari, you have to link, I chant this before actually. Actually, a lot of your chanting is related to this part actually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, next, let's take a look. So this is regards these questions. Okay, next paragraph. Maybe Mr. Leung will try to read. Wait. One more thing I see. You see, the phenomena of the 10 direction includes what you see. It's include big or small, upright or tilt, suffering, happy, and the mountain, river, earth, glass, tree, and forest. It means what? So in Mahayana text, I also given the impression that the tree, mountain, all this stuff actually come out from the heart. It's come out from the heart. It's appeared from the heart. You see, because the text mentioned that it said it include all these things. You see, all these stuff. You see, so in Mahayana text, it's quite different with the Theravada. Theravada never mentioned that It said the heart everything is appeared in the Buddha. I mean, for this reward body, they are partial of the reward body. Keep on changing or keep on moving. You see. It doesn't happen in the Nikaya and Abhidhamma, but it happened in the Mahayana text. Okay, next paragraph. Maybe Mr. Leung will try to read all this. Wait. Let me ask a question. Do you have impression that what during you do the chanting that are you giving the perception that the whole world is actually from the reward body, something like that? Or maybe
feel like it.
Never heard about
Because
that. Even though the Mahayana teacher give the Dharma talk, you never heard about that. No impression regards this. Yeah, this is the meaning here. It's from the reward body, everything, even including the mountain, river, whatsoever. Okay, next paragraph. Yes.
In English, does it mean this is a body of emancipation?
Emancipation, yes, but okay, you can say so. Okay, but emancipation, they are solely used for the arahant only. Emancipation, but if you talk about the dharma body, reward body, so we specify these terms and we use it to describe all this type of stuff, Mr. Leung, they're quite strict. I mean, they're quite particular in using the terminology, but just some sort of what you say, kind of what you say,
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Leung, maybe you try to read all these are. Mr. Leung, on the mic, please.
Thank you. All these are simply dependent consequences. The world as receptacle and direct consequences of these sentient beings and Buddhas. They exist for all lengths of duration and as all kinds of phenomena, from a moment to infinite, countless, and indefinable kalpas, and from a molecule to infinite, countless, indefinable world in the 10 directions. All the liminals arising all the limitless dependent phenomena and direct phenomena in limitless time and space, arising moment from moment, moment after moment, coexist without conflict, because the body that flows out of the natural nature of things exists everywhere, and because there is nowhere that it does not exist, everything exists within it. This body is undifferentiated throughout the entire universe and the realms of things. It is true suchness. Everything that is connected to it is without conflict or difference. A single point chosen at random reveals all, and all enters into the one as well. In this way, the ancient founders of the Tiantai and the Hua-Yan schools have mapped out the manifold endless realms as described in the extensive explanations of the Avatamsaka Sutta, Flower Adornment Sutta.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
You.
Okay, class, let's take a look. So from this paragraph, we mentioned, you see, the world as a receptacle and direct consequences of this, they are simply dependent consequence. It means what? I don't know whether you get the perception or not. In Mahayana, you always mention that. If you go to that state, like Dharma body, river body, you will realize that actually everything, they are mutually dependent. I think you heard about that, right? Oh, so it seems like all the living beings all of us, actually we are mutually connected to each other. And even though we are mutually connected to all, everything which is without life, we are mutually connected. You see, that is the word you mentioned, you see? You said that they are simply dependent consequence, you see. It's from where sentient being and the Buddha are. And you see, it's from the time, okay, very far away until now, and you see from a molecule to infinite countless, infinite word in the 10 direction, you see. It seems all they are connect all together, you see. Then take a look, you see the body that flow out of the nature of thing. It means what? It flow out the nature of thing. The nature of thing is something like they flow out their own nature. It's Dharma body. It is everywhere and there exists everywhere. Then everything exists within it, you see. So I mean from the text we can understand that Dharma body, it seems cover the whole world, everywhere, and then it got whatever they are still within the Dharma body. Or whatever you see, they must be within the Dharma body, or from the time and the space, you see. You see, I think this is quite logic. Now, why we will feel that you are you and I am myself. Usually, basically, the sense of the self, we call it as something, we call it as a selfish, or we call it as ignorance, is due to we feel the barrier between you and I. And also, the barrier also between we ourselves and the outside the world, the mountain, the river. But once you attain to a certain level, the boundary between all the human beings, they will be dismantled, and then you feel that you yourself and the whole world, the river and the sea, everything is no boundary. Everything is unite together, you see. So that's why in Tian Tai and Huayan, they create a manifold world. Why? Because they notice that finally everything everything is included in this 10, everything is included in this Dharma body. So from the Dharma body, everything is contained, then we segregate it to the 10, 10-fold word. So we see the different We'll see that there is a reincarnation between the sixth realm and also all these things. Actually, basically, in naturally everything is in suchness, and everything is in one. Everything is unite together, basically. But the ignorance make us feel we are all different. Yeah, Mr. Leon, please.
Seafood, the virtues of Buddha is based on the three bodies, but here only is described two bodies. Where is the third body?
Will be coming next. Okay, Mr. Leon. Yes, okay. In next episode. Okay, let's take a look. So this is the thing you see. Okay, the 10 power and the fourfold fearlessness. Okay. Yes, okay. Elaine, say it again. Can you please read? Let me check first. The 10 power. Yes, Sally, please. The 10 power.
The 10 powers, the fourfold fearlessness, the 18 distinctive characteristics, great compassion, the threefold karma that need no guarding, and wonderful wisdom are the virtues of Buddhas. The pure and perfect Dhamma body is in accord with the totality of all the virtues. By a Buddha's virtue are embraced by the body that flows out of the nature of things. Although the virtues of Buddhahood are inconceivable, 140 distinctive virtues are described. A few commonly known ones are noteworthy. First, a Buddha has the virtue of 10 powers. These are established in order to subdue the extraordinary abilities of Mara. These 10 powers are the power to know what is right and wrong in every condition, to know the very consequences of karma, to know all the stages of meditation, liberation, samadhi, and concentration, to know the different capacities and faculties of all beings, to know what sentient beings understand, to know the actual condition of every individual, to know the causes and effects of sentient beings in all worlds, to know the results of karma in previous lives, to know of the death and birth of all beings, and to be free from all faults. Second, a Buddha also has the virtue of the fourfold fearlessness, which expresses his absolute faith in benefiting himself and others. Fearlessness in proclaiming his omniscience, in proclaiming his freedom from all faults, in proclaiming the way to end all suffering, and in exposing the barriers to the way. Third, a Buddha also has the virtue of 18 distinctive characteristics that are not established in common with ordinary people or the Hinayana. These 18 characteristics are faultless of bodies, faultless of speech, faultless of thought, impartiality, perfect steadiness of mind, perfect self-sacrifice, and the undiminishing aspiration to save sentient beings, unflagging zeal, unfailing mindfulness, unfailing wisdom, unfailing liberation, unfailing knowledge and understanding of transcendence, unobstructed knowledge of the past, unobstructed knowledge of the future, unobstructed knowledge of the present, accordance of all deeds with wisdom, accordance of all speech with wisdom, and accordance of all thought with wisdom.
Okay, stop here. Never mind. Three is enough. Plus, once we mentioned 10 power, actually some psychic is involved also in this 10 power from the Buddha. You see, number one, what is a right and wrong in every condition? This not much to explain. Very consequence of the karma. Just Buddha, he himself are able to know the very consequence of the karma. For example, if you create some karma, you see how if you do the dharma, then the consequence is when you do the giving, then in the next life, you will have a sufficient requisite, you see. So that is the cause and effect. So Buddha can know very well, you see. And then you see why people sick, especially if they're affected cancer. So we call them, and you go to liberate some animal. Why we do so? Because in the text mentioned in this way. So we believe there's the cause and effect Buddha observed. Then third one, you see to know all the stages of meditation. Okay, so it's just like this diagram. So for Buddha, he's able to know all these different stages of the meditation. So we're going through it in Abhidhamma later on. Then next, to know the different capacity and faculties of all living beings. Since Buddha know the different capacity, so basically he is the best in helping people learning the Dharma. So he know, when he see you, he know what Dharma to talk, so that you will accept without resistance. But anyway, there will be some exclusion. According to the Nikaya, everyday Buddha, he wake up, and then actually he doesn't really sleep, so he will start to go up Pindabat, Pindabat, and then after Pindabat, he will wash his feet and then start eating. So after eating, rest a while, he will start meditate and try to know that who he is going to see. So he try to help them. It's before Pindabat. So we use his psychic to see, who are the one that have affinity with me, with him. Then he will try to help out. See. Why we never met Buddha? We are so bad luck. If we met him, of course he know how to help us liberate within one life. To know what sentient being understand. He can read people's mind. Actual condition of every individual. Not much thing to say. The cause and effect of a sentient being. Yes, you know our cause and effect very well, especially from the Paticca Samuppada. From the Paticca Samuppada. So you know what is our cause to make us have a past, and what is the cause to make us have a future life. To result in the previous life, to know of the death and the birth of all the living beings. So that is what we mentioned here. So we stop.